Well, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, there's nothing like tournament time, and to be able to come here and just have the experience, period, is big for our team. But to come in here and get that first win, not only in the tournament, but in history under our belt, that's huge for our program. And I'm hoping that we can ride that success as long as we can ride it, and the team's really excited about it, so it can only help us.
Coach, it seems like every day, every game, this program is adding history, to the program. So what'd you do to kind of calm them down coming over here today?
We only look at one game at a time. All of the history making is great, and certainly we have those goals and aspirations, but at the end of the day, it's one game. And you have to take that one game as it is, do the little things, and that's what we talk about all the time. We preach, do the little things. The simple plays are what's going to win it for us. We certainly have a lot of weapons that can make the big plays, and that's exciting, but that's not what the big games are going to come down to. So we really try to focus on just one game at a time, doing our little stuff right.
What was your message for them at halftime?
Attack, attack, attack. We get into a funk where we start settling for shots, and they don't always fall. We typically, I don't know the stat on it, but every time I look, we typically take more shots than anybody else in the league. Right. And we need to do that. We play a little bit fast. That's fine, but you've got to get to the rim. You've got to get them in a position where they have to foul you, and we weren't doing that in the first half. We were settling for shots. We weren't going to get into the free throw line, and it was hurting us.
What are some things that Hart and Simmons did well? And obviously, you shot the ball pretty well, but what do they do to give you all fits?
Well, they're just a strong, disciplined team. They know their offenses very well. They've got some bigger players inside than we do. They've got some great shooters. They're just fundamentally sound. And so we knew we were going to have to try to be, in our game plan, but they were going to be very efficient. So we were going to have to really focus in on some things and battle it out because they were going to bring their game.
You've seen a lot more of Crystal than we have over the years, but when she gets in a group like that, Coach, what's it do for you offensively on that end?
Well, it changes the game. She actually is new to our program this year. She was a junior college transfer, and watching her in the recruitment process, we knew that she had that scoring capability, and that's why we went onto her so heavily to get her here, because we knew we had a lot of pieces. But when you have somebody that can just come in and day out and put the ball in the hole and at any time can go off, and you just know consistently she's able to do that, that's huge for your team. It brings the team up. Even if she's having a hard time getting going, you just know that eventually she's going to get it going, and then everybody elevates their game and plays off of her.
I know you mentioned one game at a time, but when you're in the position you are, when you know you likely have to win this whole tournament to get that large, to get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, does that change the way you approach every game? Does it change your philosophy and your mindset at all?
No, that's not going to change our mindset at all. Number one, this is the first win in program history. I can't think too far down the road. And the bottom line is that thinking one game at a time is what got us here. We're going to stay with what works as long as we can.
Crystal, I guess I'll start with you. Just making program history, like Danny said, no one ever, LeTourneau boys, men or women, basketball is one. How does it feel to be a part of history today?
It's a great feeling. I mean, I'm glad to be a part of this team and make the history. The season was rough. It was real rough. We started off real slow, but at the end we started coming together, and that's how we made it here and got the win.
Same question for you.
Just as what Chris just said, we've had a tough season so far, and getting everybody to get on board and do everything is great.
Actually, you were here the last time y'all made it to the tournament, so kind of knew the feeling, coming here today. So how do you think that played into your advantage? Or any advice you shared with your teammates going into today?
It was good. Having that experience sophomore year was good to have, to know, having all the other teams watching you and stuff, and going over scouting and things like that. It helped out, and just having the home crowd here helped out too.
Right. Hart and Simmons shot very well today, and there was a period in the second quarter when y'all didn't shoot so well. So what was the atmosphere at halftime, and what are some things y'all talked about that needed to happen in the second half?
Yeah, it was just really big on the post, trying to grind harder to get in front and win the battle of the boards was really important for us coming into halftime. So.
And Crystal, a monster second half for you. What spurred not just your shooting, but the team in general to finish the game and take the win?
I just had to relax and let the game come to me. Like Coach said, we just can't rushing the thing to the shots and everything would come to us. So I was thinking, while I was sitting on the bench, I was thinking like, okay, have to come in and be prepared, stay focused so we can come out with the win.
When you don't shoot as well in the first half, obviously you're second in the conference in scoring. So obviously, we know you can put in the bucket. But
Yeah.
when you have a first half like that, does your mindset change when you come out of the locker room? Because when I got here, you were looking for your shot. You were starting to feel it. Do you get a sense of when you're starting to feel it?
Yes, I just know when I make my first shot, I just know I'm just going to keep making it every time. If I don't make it on the outside, I know I can take it in and get the layup, or they're going to foul and I put my points on the free throw line.